So you have seen me and a lot of other people saying that GPU is one of the most important component if you want to build a gaming PC. But what actually GPU does that makes it so important for a gaming PC? Well, in this video, let's explain what GPU is, how it works, and why it is so important. Well, a GPU stands for Graphics Processing Unit, and as the name suggests, is processes all the graphics that you see. That means the whole video output that you see on the monitor, it is handled by your GPU. Now, on early days of computing, when the concept of GPU rose up, it wasn't meant for gaming, but it was meant for outputting graphics or outputting video onto those big CRT monitors. And there was two companies that paved the way for modern GPUs. One, Nvidia, and two, ATI, which later got acquired by AMD and now known as AMD Radeon Graphics. When Nvidia launched their first GeForce graphics card, it was the beginning of 3D graphics processing on a dedicated hardware. Some of you might ask, well, a lot of CPUs has integrated GPUs inside. So why cannot we make those integrated GPUs powerful enough so that we can play most modern games with only one hardware? We don't need to sell both kidneys for CPU and GPU. Well, except the size difference, there is a little architectural difference between a CPU and a GPU. A CPU, at least commercially viable CPUs, mostly have 16 to 32 cores. A GPU can have hundreds, even thousands of cores inside them. And not only there are more cores on a GPU compared to a CPU, those cores can work parallelly. A CPU is a really powerful and really good because it's a all-rounder player. It can do everything you throw at it, but that doesn't mean that it is efficient, especially when it comes to parallel tasks. And that is the reason GPUs are so important. Because of those thousands and thousands of cores can work parallelly, it can render everything that you see on your screen very fast. When you play a game, there is a lot of things that happen in the background. The polygons need to be calculated, it needs to be displayed, the texture needs to be properly offloaded from your GPU to your monitor, AI needs to be correct, the geometry of everything needs to be properly calculated, and after a lots of pre-processing and post-processing, you see one frame on your graphics card, and it happens so freaking fast. First, you have your game on your storage device. When you load up a game, textures, asset, polygons of that game gets offloaded from your hard drive to your GPU's VRAM. After that, your GPU does the whole processing part, or I must say parallel processing part. When you see 100 frames on your FPS counter, that means in each second your GPU is making 100 different images and sending them to your monitor. And as you can see, it's not an easy task. There are a lots of calculation that is needed to be done here. And that is the reason GPU is so important for gaming. And if we throw the same task to your CPU and its integrated GPU, well, it's gonna be a little hectic because it doesn't have a directly connected VRAM. It has random access memory, which is really fast, but it is meant for your whole operating system, not to only store your game assets. So it cannot store every single asset onto your 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte RAM. Then that needs to be offloaded to your CPU's integrated graphics. That has to be calculated, and you don't have that many cores, probably hundreds, few hundred cores in your integrated GPU. Even if that is the reason when we try to game with the integrated GPU, it doesn't perform that good. And there is a one major thing that we are overlooking, and that is heat. When your GPU or CPU working so hard and so fast, it can output, or it will output, so much heat. Yes, we can make chunky CPUs with big integrated graphics inside them, but the problem would be cooling them efficiently. The bigger the CPU die is, the harder it is to cool, and that is the reason GPUs are big, bulky and dedicated. When it does that much work fast, it generates so much heat, and that heat need to be properly taken care. That is the reason brands like Asus and MSI build huge graphics card. But after all this, don't think that GPU is the only important part for a gaming PC. Well, you are wrong. A good combination of a GPU and CPU creates the best harmony for a gaming PC. If you pick a very powerful gaming GPU and pair it with just a mid-range or a lower tier CPU, you won't get the most out of your GPU. Yes, you will see some great frame rates, but you won't see the frame rates that the GPU is capable of, because your CPU is slow. It cannot handle all the information that GPU is sending to your CPU. And in the same way, if you get a very expensive and a very powerful CPU and pair it with a mid-range GPU, yes, your GPU will perform great. It will be at 100%, but you will be losing a lot of potential. And that is the reason you need to pick a good combination. And how will you do that? Well, there are a bunch of resources on the internet. Search through YouTube. There are forums like Reddit, PC Part Picker, Linus Tech Tips forum. You can scour through all of them to find best GPU and CPU combination. Or even if you have a CPU and you want to upgrade it, what would be a best upgrade option from your old one to new one? You can find them, and this is very easy. Trust me, you don't need to ask a lot of people. Just question it. Just post a question on Linus Tech Tip forum or a Reddit, and then you will see a lot of people trying to help you, because that is the best part of this community, that we try to help each other. Like I am trying to help you understand that why GPU is so much important for a gaming PC, and you can help me with subscribing right here and also by watching this video right here. And this is Akash, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.